This is a lesson on solving triangles, and this is any triangle if you are given three pieces of information. First of all, if you are wandering the internet looking for information on trigonometry, you are welcome to view this video, and I hope it helps. For my students, we have previously talked about solving triangles that are right triangles using SOHCAHTOA. And we have also talked about solving triangles using the law of cosines. Now, the law of sines, it is simply a ratio. These are all directly proportional. So if you take the sine of angle A and you divide it by its opposite side, which is also labeled A, and that's how we label triangles. This is directly proportional to the sine of angle B over side B, and that's equal to the sine of angle C over side C. Now, we do not know whether this triangle is a right triangle or not, but it covers all bases. In order to be able to use the law of sines, you have to have a matched set. And by a matched set, I mean you need to know an angle and its opposite side at least. And then you need one other piece of information, and it doesn't matter which piece, but you need a matched pair to be able to use this. Alright, so you can sketch this angle, this triangle if you want to. But what I see is that I do have a matched pair. I do have A's, and I know one angle, and I'm looking for its opposite side. So you're not ever going to use all three of those fractions. You're going to use whichever two pieces make sense for you at this time, and this is the one that makes sense for us at this time. So I'm going to plug in what I know. I know that the big A is 74 degrees, and the side opposite it is 52. And I know that angle C is 38, and I don't know the side opposite it. So the first thing that we want to do before we start to plug this into our calculator is that we want to cross multiply. So I'm going to cross multiply, so I'll have C times sine 74 equals 52 times sine 38. And then we will divide both sides by sine 74. Now, putting this into your calculator, there's some very important things that you need to do. You need to put into parentheses 38 before you divide. Most Texas Instruments calculators will offer you a parentheses to open as soon as you key in sine. You need to close that parentheses, otherwise it includes sine 74 in this parentheses, and so basically you're double signing a value, and that doesn't get you what you need. And when we enter that fraction exactly as I have listed right there, you end up with side C being 33.3, and for our purposes we're just going to round all angles and all sides to one decimal place. The method that I'm using here basically is a one and done. You put this all into your calculator at one time, and there's no rounding necessary along the way, and it gives you a much more precise answer. Alright, the next one. I know side B, I know side C, I know angle C, so I don't need any of the A's here. So my setup will be sine B over side B, and then sine C over side C. And I'm looking for an angle, so let's plug in what we know. I don't know angle B, so big B. Alright, now what I want to do first is I want to solve for sine B. And I'm just going to multiply the 3 on both sides. So I've got sine B equals 3 sine 52, and that whole thing is divided by 4. Now, to be able to get my angle out of the signed function, I need to inverse both sides with an inverse sign. So, sine inverse, it's not a reciprocal sign, that would be cosecant. And this is not a cosecant, this is simply an inverse. And so what you would enter into your calculator is this, not the b equals part, but you would go sine inverse, which is usually a second function on your calculator, and you'll have 3 sine parentheses 52, close your parentheses, divided by 4, and then close that outside parentheses. And this is a foolproof way. It always works without you having to do much rounding. And what this gives you is 36.2 degrees, and you do want to put your degree symbol because that is a unit, and we will always put a unit into our answer if it's provided. Alright, so in this triangle, I'm given side C, I'm given angle A, and I've given angle B, but if I've got only one side, I need its opposite angle. Well, the nice thing about this is that we can find angle C. Angle C is the third angle in a triangle, and a triangle has 180 degrees. So if I just subtract angle A and angle B, then I am able to find angle C. And that is 119 degrees. So I have what I need. I have my opposite. So I've got sine angle C, which is 119. We're going to divide that by side C. And then we have, it says find A, so I'm going to use sine of 27. I don't need the 34 anymore. Okay, so I'm going to cross multiply this. So I have A times sine 119 equals 73 sine 27. The temptation for some people is to try to multiply the 73 by sine 27. Sine 27 is its own number, so don't do that. And then I'm going to divide both sides by sine 119. So 73 times sine, I'm going to put the parentheses for calculator purposes on here, divided by sine 119. And the result that we get here is my side A is 37.9. Alright, so the last one is a word problem because really these problems only make sense in the context of problem solving. So I have a captain of a ship, and I'm going to give you a warning in advance that I am a miserable picture drawer, but I like to anyway, so I'm going to. So I've decided that it's a pirate ship. It's a blue pirate ship. Looks kind of like a pea pod right now, but here's a mast, here's another mast, here's a mast, and he needs a flag. It's a Jolly Roger, by the way. So here's my ship. Now it has sighted a reef, and the line of sight is different from the direction that the ship is sailing. The ship is going this way, and there's a reef going the other direction. And so this way, we'll say, is the reef, and so we'll draw a reef, and it's got some fish, maybe a shark. Alright, now, from the point of view of the captain of my ship, this direction, versus the direction that he's traveling. Okay, so he's traveling this way, but he's looking this way. According to the problem, this is a 20-degree angle. Okay, so after the ship has sailed 8 meters, he's traveling along this way. After he's traveled 8 meters, he's looking back at that reef again. And we're going to draw a line there. So he's traveled 8 meters. He's looking back at the reef where we're looking at this angle, and it says that it is a 70-degree angle. Okay. Now, it says once it moves, once it's here, right here, how far is the ship from the reef? So I'm going to make that my variable. And I'm going to put an X right there. So right now I don't know any opposites. Not at all. But I do know this. A straight line is 180 degrees. There's 70 of them right here. So this angle right there, I don't have room to put it in there, is 110. And all three of the angles inside, here, here, and here, add up to be 180 also. So that's 130, so this is a 50-degree angle, and now I have an opposite of this, okay? And this 20 degrees is opposite of what I'm looking for, so I think we have a good setup right here. So I'm going to say sine of 20 over x equals sine of 50 over 8. And that will give us the distance of our ship to the reef. And when you solve for x, you're going to get 8 sine 20 divided by sine 50. Alright, so let's put that in the calculator and see how far away it is. Alright, so I found that we're about 3.6 kilometers away from the reef. I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and come back and check me out for some more lessons in the future.